welcome to SoulFull Sessions with Rory, the podcast where we dive deep into the matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. I'm your host, Rory, and I'm thrilled to embark on this soulful journey with each and every one of you. SoulFull Sessions is your safe space for introspection, inspiration, and maybe even a little revelation. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee, winding down after a long day, or just seeking a moment of connection, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's soulful exploration, I want to remind you that SoulFull Sessions with Rory is designed for entertainment purposes only. While we may touch on profound topics and meaningful discussions, it's important to approach our conversations with an open heart and a sense of curiosity. Life is a journey, and so is this podcast. We'll navigate the realms of self-discovery, spirituality, and personal growth, but remember, the insights we share here are not a substitute for professional advice or guidance. Always consult with the appropriate professionals regarding your unique circumstances. So whether you're a seasoned seeker or just dipping your toes into the waters of self-exploration, get ready for a blend of wisdom, laughter, and a touch of magic in each episode of SoulFull Sessions with Rory. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on a soulful moment. Follow me on all social media, on IG at SoulFull Explorer, on Facebook, Listening Veteran Life Coach, and Snapchat, Rory space SoulFull Explorer with 2 L's to stay connected, share your thoughts, and be a part of this incredible community. So, today's soulful episode is building a stronger relationship with people you love. So the truth is that you're going to build a stronger relationship, period. It's not just about the people you love, but it's just about building a stronger relationship. I always say that communication is the number one reason that any relationship would fail. But I'll tell you this, building a stronger relationship, it requires dedication, effort, and effective communication from both people. Now, can you build a strong relationship by yourself? I don't think you can. But somebody at some point has to be the catalyst, meaning they have to be the person to say, you know what, I want a better relationship with this person. I love to use my own stories to express, just kind of how that works. But I'm going to start off with talking about how it doesn't work if you don't build a stronger relationship. A strong relationship can withstand a lot of tragedies. A strong relationship can withstand any problems that may accumulate just in time, because communication is at the foundation. So I'm going to give you some things that it takes to build a stronger relationship. Now, this doesn't have to be with a significant other. It can be with your children. It can be with your parents. It can be with coworkers. It could just be with a variety of people. It's just a matter of who you're trying to build that stronger relationship with. So the number one thing on my list of what it takes to build a strong relationship is communication. I started talking about communication, but it's not just communication. It's open and honest communication. It is essential for a healthy relationship. Now, let me just add this little caveat. Open and honest doesn't mean brutal and tactless. So brutal and tactless is when you call yourself being open and honest and you just say whatever comes to mind. You don't consider someone's feelings. You don't care about how you say it or when you say it. Oh, I'm open and I'm honest. Yeah, but you're lacking compassion, and we'll get to that. So open and honest communication with a hint of empathy. So that way, when you're talking to these people, you're still taking into consideration how they feel. You're still thinking about how it would affect them, what you say and how you say it. So with this open and honest communication, you want to share your thoughts, feelings, and concerns, and actively listen to their thoughts, feelings, and concerns, as well as their perspective without judgment. Key word, without judgment. So in other words, when you're communicating with someone and they're sharing their thoughts with you, you're not judging them on what they say or how they say it. You're simply listening. You're listening not to respond, but to listen and to understand. Understanding does not mean agreeing, but it does show that you're wanting to know, and you feel what they have to say is important. It's a form of validation. Number 2, trust. To have a stronger relationship, you have to trust. Trust is the foundation. Be reliable, consistent, and transparent in your actions. Reliable, consistent, and transparent. Transparent, I think, gets a bad rep sometimes because we think that transparent is vulnerability. To be vulnerable means that something is in a weakened state. Transparency is when you allow yourself to expose your true nature, your true feelings. That doesn't mean that because you expose those things that you're at a weakened state. It takes a lot of strength to share your emotions. And not just that, but this demonstrate when you are transparent in your actions, it demonstrates the trustworthiness by honoring your commitments and being accountable for your words and behaviors. Now, the key is being accountable for your words and your behaviors. So you could say one thing and do another. That will not make you trustworthy. So, in other words, if you tell somebody, hey, I forgive you, you don't have to worry about this, but then you turn around and bring it up a month later. Well, you remember when you did this? Well, that hurt me. But you already told the person that you forgive them, so why are you reenacting those emotions again or bringing that situation up? So now that is part of breaking that communication chain. So trust is number 2 on the list. You have to show that your actions are consistent. You have to be transparent. And now understand when I say have to, this is all opinionated. Now, and just because I make this list doesn't mean that this is the be no do of anything. It's a matter of my opinion, and I want you to take these things and formulate your own opinion. Number 3, respect. Respect has another word to it. It's basically showing due regard for a person's feelings, belief systems, and things of that nature. Treat your partner with kindness, empathy, and respect at all times. Value their opinion, boundaries, and autonomy. And avoid belittling, berating, criticizing, or dismissing their feelings. Sometimes that's difficult because we have a natural defense mechanism when people make us feel uncomfortable. And in order to stop feeling uncomfortable, sometimes we'll attack their belief system instead of saying, you know what, I hear you and I understand and I validate what you're saying. Instead, we'll go, well, no, that's not what it was, or that's not what it is. How you can't feel like that, or you don't feel like, and it's really unfair that this person has come to you and in confidence, and hopefully they're looking at you to respect their belief system even if you don't agree with it. They're looking for you to respect their actions and decisions even if you don't agree with them. So try to understand the difference between respect, and agreement. You don't have to agree with someone to respect them. And that's just the nature of this thing. So, you know, do your best to respect someone, to have a stronger relationship. Now, number 4, I'm not going to lie to you, number 4 has been a problem for me, just as a man. Now, of course, this is not a cop out. I'm just telling you that the way that some men are designed, it's the most precious thing that they have to give to a person, but also the one thing that they'll protect at all costs: quality time. Spend quality time together regularly, engaging in activities that you both can enjoy. It's about nurturing your connection. You got to make time for date nights, shared hobbies, or simply relaxing and enjoy each other's company. Now, how does this work with a child or with a parent? It's the same concept. You got to do things with people that you both enjoy. So that way it's a shared experience, and one person doesn't feel left out while the other person is, enjoying themselves. So you have to make sure that you still include this person in the activities. Quality time is special. So I love to use this example when I'm doing therapy sessions. Uh, I don't know if every man is like this, but I'll tell you, I am like this. I hate Lifetime movies. Not all of them. Let's be honest, some of them are pretty good. But there's a certain genre of Lifetime movies that when I tell you they aggravate my soul, mm-mm. To watch them, it's always some guy that did some woman wrong and she has to fight her way to freedom or something, or some woman that's stalking a family because she cheated with the guy and he led her wrong. Like it's always some dramatic something that fits a format for me. Now again, like I said, this is not all Lifetime movies. I'm just giving you the background. I don't like Lifetime movies, right? But if I'm in a relationship and the woman I'm with, she likes Lifetime movies, guess what? I'm going to make sure that I sit down and I watch a Lifetime movie. You have people say, oh, but Rory, you shouldn't do anything that you don't want to do or that you don't have to do. You know, she shouldn't make you. Ah, she wouldn't make me. The key is that I am understanding that my partner is desiring quality time with me, doing one of the things that she enjoys. So I'm going to sacrifice and compromise, and she won't have to ask me. It'll be where I say, you know what? Hey, what movie are you watching tonight? All right, what time should I be there? And I'm going to watch the Lifetime movie with her. Because at the end of the day, it's about compromise. Quality time is quality time. So guess what? When I'm doing an activity that I enjoy, I'm going to expect the same thing, even though I know she doesn't have to. But if it's the woman for me, that's exactly what she'll do. So let's say I enjoy video games, and I do. She may want to learn how to play a certain game that I'm playing, or even just sit and watch me play. It's those things that just make you feel good. Planning a date night where we go out on the town somewhere. We pick places that we both can enjoy. Or I'll pick a place that I know she'll enjoy. Or she picks a place that she know I'll enjoy. But it's about making time to have that quality time. And with men, and I'm speaking from a male perspective, and I understand that, the most important thing that we have is our time. So when we give that to you, that's super special for us. And even though to a woman it may not seem like anything, but our time is one of the most precious commodities that we have. So the next thing is so super important. And this one is the same with whether it's a loved one, a romantic interest, a family member, a friend, coworker. One word, support. Be supportive of your partner's goals, dreams, aspirations, and offer encouragement and guidance and assistance when needed. Key word, when needed or when asked. There's a difference in being supportive and being critical. For instance, when I started this podcast, I had a lot of critical advice. It wasn't supportive advice, it was critical. It was more or less, hey, here's what's wrong, opposed to, Rory, here's what's right. I think these things are great. Um, I liked when you did X, Y, and Z. Have you ever considered doing this? It's all in the wording. You know, um, Show empathy and compassion because it's so much more important during the difficult times that you express empathy and compassion for someone because they're probably being harder on themselves than anything else. What if after my first episode I beat myself up? Oh, this is horrible. I don't need to do this. This is a terrible thing. And then somebody who loves me turns right around and says, Rory, your podcast need work. You did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did this wrong. So now I'm telling myself, you know what? I'm just gonna quit it. Because clearly it's not for me. Because see, I already beat myself up. And so when you add to that, it's like, why am I doing it? But I want you to be careful too, because you got your spouses who have dreams and aspirations. You have your children who have dreams and aspirations. And all they need is a little encouragement. All they need is a little support. All they need is for you to believe in them. That's it. So get rid of the critical judgment. Just get away from that. If you want to build a better relationship, stop judging. And that even goes for children towards their parents. Your older parents now, stop judging them on how they behave. They've lived a life and now they're trying to live another one. Who are you to keep them in a bubble? Be supportive. Be empathetic. Be okay with change. Number 6, you got to compromise. Man, I'm going to tell you, when I do counseling for couples, I usually say the 3 C's: compassion, commitment, and compromise. Going back to the Lifetime movies that I hate. Yes, I hate Lifetime movies. It's a compromise, but it's a compromise that they didn't have to ask me for. So you have to learn to compromise and find mutually satisfactory solutions for conflicts and disagreements. You got to be willing to negotiate. You got to be willing to find a common ground. You got to be willing to prioritize the well-being of the relationship over being right. With couples, I love to say this, married couples, I say, you can be right or you can be married. It's that simple. If you're right, you don't need a husband. You don't need a wife. You're right. So you could be right or you could be married. And unfortunately, a lot of us choose to be right. Why? Because we're looking for validation, our own validation. Instead of thinking about our partner, our spouse, our children, our parents, the people we love, and how they feel, we immediately go into defense mode and we want to be right. And we don't care who it hurts along the way. But then we're trying to figure out later on, why are we alone? Because you were right. If you understand that everybody's journey is different, it's not yours, it's not the same, then you understand that everybody's truth is also their truth. Your truth is not going to be my truth, so your right is not going to be my right. Just like your wrong is not going to be my wrong. And it's okay. And it's all right. So be okay with compromise. Another thing that you got to look for is intimacy. Now, I know when I talk about intimacy, I'm talking more so romantic relationships. But we'll talk about intimacy that's not romantic, that's also something that's important to build stronger relationships with family, with friends. Cultivate emotional, physical, and sexual intimacy with a romantic partner. But you want to cultivate emotional intimacy with your children. And let me explain. This is basically expressing affection, love, appreciation, the things that tell them, hey, I love you, I appreciate you. It could be a hug. It could be a kiss. It could be an embrace. It could be something that's coupled with words and actions that says, hey, you're important to me. I love you. I care for you. I want you. I believe in you. And so it's those things that you have to look at. It's those things that you have to understand is important. Now, when you understand this, you can see that it can make a difference almost instantaneously with your significant other. It can make a difference with your children instantaneously. So when you start understanding this, that intimacy becomes as important as all the other things that I've already mentioned. So don't forget intimacy. Now, for some couples, it's a little difficult to cultivate emotional, physical, and sexual intimacy when you've been through a lot. Key word was difficult, not impossible. Someone has to make the sacrifice. Someone has to compromise and say, you know what? I'm going to let the past be the past and I want to move forward. If you communicate that well enough, then it'll be two people compromising. Remember that. This next one is a doozy. Forgiveness. Practice forgiveness. Let go of the past resentments or grievances. Accept that conflicts and mistakes are natural. They're supposed to be a part of a relationship. Then you have to work together to resolve that conflict and move forward. And sometimes resolution is not agreement. Resolution can be agreeing to disagree. Hey, I hear you, I understand you, and I respect your beliefs. You don't have to agree. And you don't have to let them know that you don't agree. You could be right or you could be married. Now, how does this work towards children? Letting your children know that they're heard, that their voice is valid. That is as equally important as saying, I love you. Forgiving them for being themselves sometimes. But there's another forgiveness that you have to do in a relationship. You have to forgive yourself. You got to forgive yourself for any challenges you may have had, any mistakes you may have made, any choices or decisions that just didn't feel good. So remember that. Now, this next one, I don't think a lot of people even understand. You got to have shared goals. Shared goals. Establish shared goals, values, aspirations as a couple, as a family, as a work team. You got to work together to achieve them. Whether it's building a family, pursuing a career, ambitions, or traveling the world, you got to have common goals to strengthen your bond and sense of partnership. Now, I want to speak about this one more so with our children. Too many times as parents, we create goals for our kids, but we don't take the time to help our kids create goals for themselves. So it's important that you stop and you help your child create a goal. You don't pick it for them. You ask the right questions. You find out their desires, their dreams. Effective listening. And then you help them establish a goal. And weekly, you work towards that. Oh, it's the same thing with a spouse. Because you still have to figure out, what is it that my spouse desires? How can I help them achieve their goals? How can I support what they desire to do? See how it's all intertwined together. If you don't have a goal, then what are you striving for? Relationship goals are so important, and it's not just about money. You got to ask yourself, 5 years from now, what do I want our relationship to look like? And you got to ask your spouse that. You got to ask yourself that with your children, your coworkers. You have to figure out, what do you want your relationships to look like? Last but not least is continual growth. Commitment to continual growth and improvement as individuals and as a couple. That's so super important. It's essential to prioritize communication, trust, and mutual respect while nurturing your connection and actively investing in the well-being of your relationship. With continual growth, you all are working on being open to learning from each other. You're working on trying new things. You're working on adapting to life's changes and challenges. But the thing is, you're doing it together. So you're not just making a decision that, oh, I'm going to grow. No. Together, you all are twisting and turning with the different phases of life. And you're supporting each other. And you're listening to your partner. You're allowing them to feed into your growth system. Because when they learn something new, it's good to listen. All of this is connected. All of this is intertwined. So you have to take the time to listen in order to grow. You have to try new things. If your partner takes you out to eat at a restaurant you never been to before, say it's something like Chinese food and you never eaten Chinese food, don't say, oh, I don't want to eat here. Let's try this new experience. And if you don't like it, guess what? It becomes another conversation. You remember that time we went to go try Chinese food and it was horrible? You are in control of building a better, beautiful relationship. You have the ability to make this the best thing ever. Compassion, commitment, and compromise. If you really want a better relationship, throw away that ego. Put it to the side. Allow yourself to compromise, sacrifice. Learn your partner's love language and love them how they want to be loved, not how you think they should be loved. Compromise. I appreciate you taking this time out. So thank you, beautiful soul, for joining me on today's session. Another enlightening episode of SoulFull Sessions with Rory. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might benefit. As we navigate the depths of introspection and explore the boundless possibilities of the human spirit, remember that your journey is uniquely yours, and every twist, turn, and sacred part of your story. Embrace the whispers of your soul and may the echo of our conversations linger in your heart, sparking a flame of self-discovery. Until we meet again in the realm of shared wisdom, stay true to your essence, stay connected to the rhythm of your soul, and always remember that you are a masterpiece in the making. Wishing you love, light, and infinite possibilities on your soulful journey. Until next time, this is Rory signing off with gratitude and reverence for the magic that resides in each and every one of you.